Now at 5 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a dog attack outside of Dallas leaves one toddler dead. What we know so far. And one family in West Houston is looking for answers after a fatal senior living facility shooting. Plus, a search warrant leads to the arrest of a 22-year-old woman in Sam Houston Drive in Victoria.
Overcast skies linger across the crossroads, and yet without the sun, we're still going to get warmer. And we'll be talking about that coming up in just a moment.
We continue following the latest developments in former President Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Karina Garcia. On Monday, April 8th, officers with the Victoria Police Department and the U.S. Marshals Service Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force went to Sam Houston Drive to carry out an arrest warrant. Authorities also carried out a search warrant and arrested Madison Stallworth. The 22-year-old is charged with possession of marijuana, manufacture/delivery of a controlled substance, and abandoning or endangering a child. Stallworth was taken to the Victoria County Jail and has since bonded out. Across Texas, a toddler was viciously mauled to death by 3 large dogs in the neighborhood Monday. Duncanville police officers responded to a home shortly before 11 following reports of a small child being attacked by a dog. When they arrived, they found the toddler unresponsive and in serious condition. They immediately gave the child medical attention. Police rushed the 1-year-old boy to a hospital in Dallas where he was later pronounced dead.
Our hearts go out to the family. There's no question this is a tragedy. It's important for all animal owners to ensure that their animals are confined, and if there's kids around, to ensure that there's some adult supervision around in case something like this were to happen.
The homeowner where the attack occurred was babysitting the child at the time of the attack. Also in North Texas, a toddler is being linked to fentanyl poisoning their death, and her father is being accused of not calling 911 for help. In late February, Mansfield police responded to a report of an unconscious child. The father, Michael Reed, claimed he woke up to his daughter struggling to breathe. Reed reportedly warned his roommate and sister not to call police. The 3 attempted to induce vomiting and other remedies, including using another drug, before finally calling 911. 2 hours later, the father is now charged with failing to call 911 and not securing fentanyl, and the roommate is charged for not calling 911 immediately. And now let's pause on the news and take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Got video from the other side of the world. This is Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And they were seeding the clouds a couple of days ago because they saw clouds and they went for it. And now they've got massive flooding. In fact, they've had more rain in one day than they usually have the entire year. So that's kind of when you're messing with Mother Nature. We'll be talking more about that and taking a bit about our clouds and our chance for rain this weekend. All that in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. In West Houston, police have identified a 74-year-old fatally shot inside a senior living facility as a retired teacher. Now, the families of the residents at the facility are demanding answers, and they say management isn't providing any.
Family members tell me this is 74-year-old Carol Weber, a retired local teacher, found shot to death at a senior living center. Police say she was found shot inside her apartment at Tremont Senior Living on Westerland Drive Saturday afternoon. A neighbor, too frightened to speak on camera, tells me Weber mentioned someone knocking on her door during late hours and says several other neighbors told her they experienced the same thing. Brandy Demiris has an elderly mother also living there.
If there was actually a shooting here and they are aware of it, which they would have to be, I am incredibly upset and would consider moving my mother, hearing that they wouldn't be letting families know, or the residents.
According to HPD, there is no motive or suspects right now. With no arrest and a shooting at a senior living facility, residents and their families believe there should be more transparency. I reached out to management to see whether they've increased security, concerns about someone knocking on doors late at night, and why residents weren't notified about the shooting. I was told they have no comment.
The majority of the people that I've come into contact that live here are alone and are borderline needing assisted living, more or less, someone to check on them. And I would say that Tremont's pretty good about keeping up with them and the neighbors keeping up with each other, but this could be completely swept under the rug without these people knowing.
To make sure that doesn't happen, we reached out to HPD to see if they've been called out to the senior center before the homicide. A spokesperson says they're looking into it, and in the meantime, anyone who has information is urged to contact HPD Homicide or Crime Stoppers.
The victim's family say Weber hasn't contacted her siblings for a few years, but even so, they are now asking for answers about how this could have happened. House impeachment managers have delivered 2 articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to the Senate. House Republicans accuse Mayorkas of refusing to enforce immigration laws at the U.S.-Mexico border. Democrats are expected to try to dismiss the charges this week before arguments start. Speaker Mike Johnson says Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer should convene a trial to hold those accountable, but Schumer says impeachment shouldn't be used to settle policy disagreements. Now it's the second day of jury selection in the historic criminal hush money trial of Donald Trump. The former president returned to court today after several potential jury members were dismissed Monday.
A pool of New Yorkers being questioned in a lower Manhattan court for a second day, as lawyers tried to determine which of them should help decide Donald Trump's fate in his historic hush money trial. Multiple jurors now seated. Kara McGee went through questioning but was excused because of scheduling conflicts with her job.
I don't like him. I don't approve of what he did as president, but the right to a fair trial is extremely important.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys asking potential jurors things like, what do you make of Trump, and how their social media might influence their opinions. The former president ordered to be in court, at times looking directly at the jury box, even smirking when one man said he's read Trump's books. Prosecutors telling them no one is suggesting you can't be a fair juror because you've heard of Donald Trump, adding, we don't expect you to have been living under a rock for the last 8 years or the last 30 years. Some pledging to give Trump a fair shake. One man saying feelings are not facts.
So long as we get those 12 and 6 individuals who aren't laughing and scoffing or saying they can't be there, Trump gets what everyone deserves, and that's to be judged by a fair and impartial jury of his peers.
Trump is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to cover up a payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels to keep their alleged affair secret from voters before the 2016 election. He's pleaded not guilty and has denied any wrongdoing or any relationship with Daniels.
I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense, some accountant. I didn't know.
Prosecutors have filed a Trump in contempt over a series of recent social media posts blasting witnesses Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. His attorneys saying Trump was only responding to their repeated attacks. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A senior Biden administration official says the U.S. expects Israel's military response attack to the Iranian attack over the weekend will be limited. Israel is currently weighing a narrow and limited strike on Iran in response to the unprecedented air assault. More than 300 projectiles were fired, marking the first direct military confrontation between the Islamic Republic and the Jewish state. U.S. leaders hope Israel will give them a heads up before retaliation so they'll be prepared to protect U.S. personnel in the region. Back in Victoria, April is Limb Loss Awareness Month. Recently, the Pelham Health Victoria hosted a meeting to support people dealing with limb loss. Guest speaker Yvonne Lanes is a bilateral above-knee amputee. She gave critical advice and an powerful message to inspire the group.
Be yourself and to be happy with yourself. And also, as an amputee, there's many challenges we face because we have lost a limb or 2 limbs or sometimes even 3, sometimes even 4. What's important is that you set goals for yourself. You can be happy in your heart because you haven't changed. Your appearance may have changed a bit, but you are still the same beautiful person you always were.
The amputation support group gets together to discuss ways to overcome their losses. Newcomers are welcome to attend anytime. The city of Victoria is in the process of improving streets in the city, but some residents say the process is not going quick enough. Residents in the Juan Lynn Pleasant Green Drive area of South Victoria say they still drive around potholes and down the street of the road to avoid the potholes. 25 News Now has reached out to the city of Victoria's Public Works and will continue to monitor the story for updates. Now remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. For now, stay with us. A man accused of killing 4 people in a stabbing spree in Rockford, Illinois, appeared in court today for a mental evaluation. That's straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Also ahead, one report is seeing an increase in book banning across the U.S. We have the numbers and the state with the highest number of book bans this year.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about a deadly conduct. On January 6, 2024, shots were fired in the area at 3700 Hanselman Road. A house and vehicles were struck by gunfire. If you have any information about this deadly conduct, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With Victoria Crime Stoppers, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
A mental evaluation has been granted for the suspect accused of last month's fatal stabbing attacks in Rockford, Illinois. Monday, Christian Soto appeared in court virtually. Police say Soto killed 4 people and left 7 others hurt on March 27th. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and home invasion. The evaluation will determine if the 22-year-old is mentally competent to stand trial. Soto was denied a pretrial release just earlier this month. He's scheduled to be back in court on May 17th. Alex Murdaugh is appealing his 40-year sentence he received earlier this month for financial crimes. He is currently serving 2 consecutive life sentences for the murders of his wife and son. In a separate case, Murdaugh pleaded guilty last year to nearly 24 financial crimes, including conspiracy, fraud, and money laundering. He's also serving a 27-year state sentence for financial crimes. Murdaugh is also disputing a ruling from earlier this year that denied him a new murder trial. Book banning is rising in the U.S. A new report saw 4,300 book bans during the first half of the 2024 school year, more than the entire 2022 and 2023 school year, which saw 3,300 book bans. Florida topped the list with 3,100 bans in 11 school districts. Texas has 141 bans. The report came from PEN America, a century-old and free expression advocacy group. PEN America says books discussing sex, abortion, or rape are among the most censored. Others target features about narratives regarding racism, race, and LGBTQ themes. So here's your beer poll this afternoon. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen to vote. The question is, has your child's school or community library banned any books? Yes or no? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 6. Over in health news, keeping an eye on your tongue can help you detect potential health problems. Here's more.
It's a muscular organ that helps you swallow, suck, and speak, but your tongue can also reveal telltale signs of health problems.
It's part of our observable areas that we can monitor for changes.
Dr. Gabriel Gavrilescu with Cleveland Clinic, Florida says monitoring your tongue is a simple way to spot potential issues. It can be quickly done while brushing teeth.
To make sure we notice changes, and if we do notice, to see what they signify.
Significant changes may signify a problem. A whitish tongue can indicate a fungal infection, an inflammatory condition, or a potentially precancerous condition. A yellowish or greenish color tongue is usually due to poor oral hygiene and can come from smoking, chewing tobacco, being dehydrated, or taking certain vitamins. An orangish tongue is also commonly caused by poor oral hygiene or dry mouth, certain antibiotics, and some foods like carrots. A bright red tongue may indicate food or medication allergies or a vitamin B deficiency. A gray hue may indicate eczema, according to a 2017 study, and a black tongue can mean there's a keratin buildup, which can lead to a thickening of skin. If you have a blue tongue, it may indicate a lack of oxygen in your blood, and a doctor should be called right away.
We have to be mindful about what we put in our body.
Gavrilescu says maintaining a healthy tongue color means eating a balanced diet, not using tobacco products, drinking plenty of water, and visiting a dentist regularly. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that a Texas landowner can sue the state for flood damages to his property. You can read this Texas Tribune article on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And now let's toss it over to Mac.
Thank you very much. Another cloudy day over the Crossroads. We're at 78 degrees today. Of course, that southeast wind continues blowing into the 20-30 mile an hour range. And of course, that pumps in all that moisture. We managed to get up to 82 today, just really where we're supposed to be for this time of year. We've been as warm as 100 degrees, but that was a long time ago, and I'm not ready for that. Anyway, we'll be talking about what to expect for the rest of the week and the weekend rain possibility, all that in just a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. As I mentioned earlier, this is footage from the United Arab Emirates. It's the city of Dubai, which is getting slammed by vicious thunderstorms. They were seeding the clouds a couple of days ago, and now they've got flooded airports, and they've had 4 to 5 inches of rain, and that's more rain than they usually get in the whole year. They got it all overnight. So that's why seeding is very controversial. Yes, it can work, but then you can't control how much rain or where it went. And so the entire peninsula, all that peninsula, if you know your geography, is basically flooded. Already 18 people reported drowned, and now we'll certainly be watching to see how it evolves. But these thunderstorms, of course, are breaking out in extremely hot weather, and so warm air rises, and that tops up into the clouds, pulls down that cold air, and you get the vicious, severe thunderstorms. Pretty much of a story that I'm sure you'll be hearing about in the network news tonight. For us, we've got a lot of cloud cover, but no rain. Doppler is picking up a few little sprinkles here and there, but this is very thin, not very thin, but a very thick stack of clouds on top of us, but there's no instability to actually trigger anything off. The instability is right here. You can see the storm that was in Colorado yesterday, now rolling across the plains with the frontal system sort of dragging down, but it's not really pushing down into our region, so we really don't have much to worry about with this system. We're going to stay on the cloudy side. In fact, by tomorrow, when this thing pulls away, because this is where all the bad weather is, right over the Midwest, you can see it right about there, Mississippi Valley, they're going to shall we say, they're going to take the brunt of that system. We are going to start piling up pressure, and that means it's going to be getting even warmer. So tomorrow we're looking at about 86 instead of low 80s, and already out in far west Texas, we are looking for 90s. I don't know, could we have 100 this week? It's possible. Overcast skies, basically the rule. This is future tracker, so we're talking forward into time. You can see how the few sprinkles do show up in the Doppler, or rather in the computer model, but cloudy skies basically from the hill country all the way down to our area, all of East Texas as well. To me, it's kind of counterintuitive. You say, it's going to be overcast, but it's going to be warmer. You'd think that we'd need more sun, but this is all due to the pressure that's on top of us. So the stream of clouds continues drifting up over land, and then all of a sudden something starts to develop. When is this? This is Thursday afternoon out west. By the time we get to the weekend, it starts rolling toward our area. Let me show you why. Here's the front number one. That's tonight. No major problems as far as we're concerned. That rolls eastward. The next one starts coming in down here. And at that point in time, as the front drops down into the southwest, it's really going to push even more Pacific moisture up into our region. You can see how all of a sudden we get real rain activity in North Texas. And as the front comes through our area, that would be on Saturday, we got a pretty good shot at rain on that. It's really weird how the atmosphere is either ready or not ready for the rain. Looking cloudy tomorrow, still in the low 80s. In Cuero, we're looking for cloudy again, up to about 85. And as you go in through your 7-day forecast, we'll stay fairly quiet till we hit almost 90 on Friday. Then the front comes through on Saturday, and then we get a little bit of a cool down. Look at that, 70-degree temperatures for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Cuddy now.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we're going to take a look at your stocks. Plus, an antitrust lawsuit is headed to Live Nation. Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow up 64 points, the S&P 500 down 10 points, and the Nasdaq down 20 points. Oil down 5 cents, closing at $85.36 per barrel. The Justice Department is planning to file an antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation. Live Nation, the parent company of Ticketmaster, has faced issues in the past over its dominance in the ticketing industry. Critics suggest it is only able to raise ticket prices because of a lack of competition. But Live Nation claims prices are determined by the artist teams and venues, as well as supply and demand. Lawmakers started raising questions about the company's practices since the pre-sale meltdown of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour back in 2022. Alrighty, stay with us. We're going to take one last look at your forecast with Mac when we come back. Plus, Shakira is kicking off November with her first world tour since 2018. Plus, here's a look at world news tonight right after 25 News Now at 5.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
Shakira is going on a world tour. She'll kick things off November 2nd in Palm Desert, California, with stops across the U.S. and Canada, wrapping up in Detroit December 15th. The tour will feature music from her latest album released in March. The album, Las Mujeres No Lloran, which translates to Women No Longer Cry, is her 12th studio album. Shakira says it's a mix of pop, reggaeton, regional, and rock, and describes her journey from vulnerability to resistance. Tickets for the tour go on sale April 17th. I am a huge fan of
you know
Shakira.
what they should have named her album?
Huh.
Whole lot of shaking going on.
Oh my God, leave my girl little.
No, yes,
Yeah.
a lot
I love
of
her so
shaking.
much. She is one of my icons. She was on my Spotify top 5 this year, so hopefully I'll get tickets.
Very good. Well, you know, if she's missing, then we know where she
Yeah,
went.
yeah, if you know, I'll be out there partying with Shakira.
You bet. Folks, we've got the cloudy skies that are just going to hang with us for a few more days. In fact, don't expect to get any sun, which is okay because it's actually keeping the temperature milder than it would have been. So we were looking at upper 80s, so we would have been in the 90s with direct sun. Saturday is that front, and I do expect some rain opportunity on Saturday. I know it's a weekend, but then that's going to bring us some cooler weather for early next week.
All right, thank you, Mac, and thank you for being with us. We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6.